Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Game Week. We are 5 days out from hosting the opener at Ryan Field at 6:30 p.m. We really appreciate everybody being here. I think we've kind of gotten the hang of how these go. So as always, for those of you who have not been here before, when we do open it up for question and answer, please send a private chat to Athletic Communications, and Ray O'Connell will manage that. We sent out a lot of media information yesterday, and I'm sure there are some questions. So I wanted to jump on at the start and just let you know that I will stick around after our student athletes are done to answer any questions that this group may have in terms of credentialing, parking, press box, photo, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, I will turn it over to the Dan and Susan Jones family head football coach, Pat Fitzgerald, for an opening statement.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for being here on game week. Exciting to get back going and fired up to get the season started. It's been a long road to get to this point. Really excited for our seniors. Really thankful for our families. It's been a long road to get here, and just thankful for them, along with our great medical staff, Jeff Mianis, Kevin Kikagawa, and everybody at Northwestern Health that's helped us through this process in the pandemic. It's not been easy, and it's been a challenge, but we're excited to be in game week and looking forward to Saturday night at Ryan Field. 4 great captains that were elected by their teammates that we're excited to have lead us out into the opener. We're changed things up a little bit this year. Instead of having 4 permanent captains, we're going to elect weekly captains, and that'll be done by the team and then typically announced in this meeting, in this press conference. So we on offense with Peyton and Nick, and then on defense with Patty and JR, 4 great guys that, excited to watch them lead us out into the opener and get the season started. Again, they can be reelected in the future. It really will depend on what the team wants, and we'll kind of go through there. I was asked kind of why we did that. And, obviously it's unprecedented times, and, you never know. It's kind of a day by day how you're going to go through the season. And we hope and pray that no one ends up getting a positive test, but nonetheless, we want to make sure that we have enough flexibility so we can have proper leadership day by day and game by game. We announced our guys that will not be playing with us this year. Those decisions were made before we even started camp, and so we've operated supporting those young men and supporting their families, since we started camp, and wish them nothing but the best and are here for them. And we'll see how things progress in the future for them individually, but collectively, we're all here to support them, and we'll 100% be behind them. We'll have some adjustments to game day. We'll stay here in Evanston, and then we will do most of our pre-practice or pregame routine here at the Walter Athletic Center, with coming over for our game day routine a little bit later than we typically have. So don't be surprised to see that. We'll also be using Welsh Ryan Arena's lobby as our travel party home locker room over at Ryan Field. And then our guys that are non-travelers will be in our typical home locker room there in the Buehler Center, like we've had in the past. So some changes a little bit to our game day routine that maybe some of you are used to, but for us, it's something we work through in our mock game, and will be something we'll use and execute in all 4 of our home games. Looking forward to the game. Mike Loxley and I have known each other for a long time. Just have the utmost respect for Lox. I'll go back to when I started in the coaching profession. I was actually a graduate assistant coach at the University of Maryland, and Coach Lox was on the staff, and we've been close ever since. He's had an amazing career. He's put together an outstanding staff, and now in year 2, as you watch as the season went along last year, you started to see that team was starting to take on his personality and his identity. And that will obviously continue, I'm sure, as it went through an abnormal offseason, but then through their camp. And he's done just a great job in recruiting, and he's been a developer everywhere he's been. You see the success that he's had everywhere that he's been. And, just great respect and great friendship with Lox. And I look forward to seeing him pregame, to say the least. And I'll be rooting for him every game, but on Saturday night. So with that, I'd love to answer any and all questions that you have, and just hope everybody's healthy and safe. And again, want to thank our frontline workers, obviously that are out there keeping us healthy and safe, and lift them up in our thoughts and prayers. So with that, I'll turn it over to questions.
Thanks, Coach. Again, for the benefit of Coach Fitzgerald, please say your name and what media outlet you're with. And if you have a question, please direct message Athletic Communications in the chat. So with that, Teddy Greenstein.
Hello, guys. Good to see you all. In terms of the depth chart that we just saw, I don't think any of us is surprised about quarterback. Was that even a difficult decision? And then also, I'd love to hear about your first-year left tackle, Skoronski.
Yeah, with the quarterback position, we had a great competition throughout, from starting when Mike Bajakian got here until a couple of weeks ago. And Peyton, obviously coming into the mix, pretty much along the same lines as the guys did coming back to campus here this summer. So great competition. Proud of the job that Peyton's done, but really proud of the entire room. They've learned a new offense. Jake's done a great job with them. And, as we alluded to in the report, Hunter and Andrew would be kind of the next two guys. And then the job that TJ's done to come back. I mean, if I was able to list four, he'd be in that mix too. So we feel like we've got pretty good depth there. But Peyton is QB1 and excited to watch him lead our team out Saturday night. Peter's done a great job at left tackle. We feel like we've got four really good tackles with Zach and Payne backing up Peter and Gunner. And, it's those two backups are really close to being in the mix to being starters. So we kind of feel really good about where we're at that position from a depth standpoint. Peter's very talented, highly recruited player. He's had a very good camp, and we'll get his first start here on Saturday night.
Dave Bennett.
Coach, good morning. You haven't played Maryland but one time. You mentioned your ties to Coach Loxley, but you've played him once, and that was with the previous staff. Is this almost have the feel of a non-conference game for you because you haven't played him?
No, Mr. Cat. Good morning. It's good to see you. This will feel like a Big Ten game, no doubt about it, but it will feel like taking on a new staff. And with that is your offseason preparation. And going through the video from last year, there's been some staff changes in Lox's staff in the offseason. And so doing the research there and getting as prepared as we can. But as always in the opener, this is going to be our 15th together, Mr. Cat. I look forward to that, which seems like yesterday. But nonetheless, you got to plan to adjust, and you really got to focus on your own team. You got to focus on your preparation. You got to focus on how you go about, the way you start the game, and then the way you're going to have to adjust. And we'll anticipate having all those hopefully in place, with some in our control and some out of our control. But our focus will be on us. Yeah, it's nothing new to anybody that's covered us for a long time, and look forward to just getting the opportunity to get out there. We're so fortunate to have the opportunity to play, and just really excited to go out and do it.
Ella Brockway.
Hi, Coach. Ella from the Daily Northwestern. This is the first time in 10 plus years that you'll be heading into the start of a new season with and how are you feeling about implementing a whole new offensive, or how the implementation of the offensive system has gone?
Ella, you froze there for a second. Good morning. I think you were asking me about, a new offense for the first time in 10 years. Does that sound right? Paraphrasing? Okay. I got the thumbs up. That's usually how I do my mic check in team meetings. So I appreciate the thumbs up. But, I've been there before. This isn't the first time. We've been through coaching changes. We've been through coordinator changes in the past. And, more important to the game right now has been what's led up to the game, right? And the job that Mike Bajakian and our offensive staff have done coming together, first of all, and then our players being receptive to the new scheme, the new points of emphasis, the new attention to detail, the new language, all the new that had to go into preparing the guys for game week. I'm really proud of our offensive players. I couldn't be more proud of them. They've done a phenomenal job of just fully embracing everything it takes to get themselves prepared for this week. And, now as we look forward to the opener, obviously we'll learn a lot about each other. Jake will learn a lot about the way I manage games, and I'll learn a lot about the way he calls games. And, we've gone through some situational scrimmages already through camp, preseason, I should call it. It's not camp, but it'll obviously be very different Saturday night, but feel very confident in our preparation to this point. Huge week ahead of us getting ready for the Terrapins, but just excited to watch our offense go out and compete.
Chris Heidel.
Hey, Chris Fitzgerald. Thanks for taking my questions this morning.
You bet, Chris. How are you, man? Where are you at? You got some beautiful clouds above you.
Yeah, I'm actually outside of Baltimore, so that's
all right, buddy.
Yeah. Question for you: with Maryland Maryland's going to have so many different quarterbacks they might throw at you on Saturday night. How do you prepare for a team that you don't even know who's going to be starting on Saturday for the other team?
Well, we may throw 4 quarterbacks at Maryland. How about that?
Yeah.
You just, you know what, you prepare for the video that you saw in the past. You try to overturn every stone, and then you just adjust accordingly in the game. Those that have covered us for the number of years, typically in our non-Big Ten games, it just seems like every year it's a new coach in the opener, or it's a new coordinator on offense or defense. I mean, it's pretty crazy throughout my time how much change there's been in some of our opponents. So we're pretty well versed, but both guys are very, very talented. We've been able to look at tape on them, and maybe not in a Maryland jersey per se, but tape of them and their skill set. Man, are they both very, very talented.
Peter Warren.
Peter Warren and Daily Northwestern. It's obviously been a very hectic and chaotic offseason for a variety of reasons. How do you reflect on such a unique, experience getting from, the hat game last year to 330 days later, your first opening game against Maryland on Saturday?
It's been a journey. It always is, Peter. I mean, when you look at, this unique 2020 off season, then into a unique kind of start to the 2020 football season, it's been very unique, but very thankful for our players and their families and our staff. We've just tried to work through it day by day. We've tried to do a great job communicating and just helping everybody through unique situations and unique challenges, and then just being prepared to adjust. And, from a standpoint of, my 14 previous years, I don't know if there's been an off season as unique as this one, but that's what my role is try to help us through it. And hopefully we'll be prepared for Saturday night.
Eli.
Hey, Coach. Eli Karp from Inside on You. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw from Brandon Joseph that led him to earn the starting slot next to J.R. Pace at safety?
Hey, Eli. Good morning. It's I think a deep secondary. I think a group of guys that are very talented. Brandon, again, going back even to last year, was a guy that we felt pretty strongly about, understanding of the game, high football intelligence, really competitive and athletic young man, and a guy that, as we start the season has won that role, which is a credit to him. And then, I will tell you that the other guys that maybe are on the second line are ready to be starters also. It's not like we've got 2 guys and that's it. So it's a really deep group in the back end, and a really, I think, competitive group. And I look forward to seeing a lot of them play, not only in the secondary, but also obviously in some key critical roles in the kicking game. And, it's probably a more, a bigger, challenge, I think, for everybody in Big Ten play, getting up to the speed of the game in the kicking game now as we're here in the second to last weekend in October, right? If this was a normal season, we'd have 4, 5, 6 games under our belt. That'll be a huge challenge Saturday night, not only for us, but I don't want to speak for my other 13 colleagues as head coaches, but probably what's going to keep us up the most this week is just the speed of the game and the execution in the kicking game by a lot of your younger players. And so, we're going to have our hands full, but man, I'm really excited about that secondary, and a lot of different guys going to be in a lot of different roles.
Andrew Golden.
Hey, Coach, this is Andrew Golden from the Daily Northwestern.
Hi, Andrew. What's up, buddy?
How you doing? Sorry for the Maryland flag in the background, by the way. It's an accident. But my question for you is, this has certainly been like a unique offseason for the whole team, but I'm sure it's been kind of odd for the freshmen. What freshman players have kind of stood out to you, and how do you decide which ones are prepared enough to play in the opening game of this upcoming week?
Yeah, I was hoping you would ask me a question. I was going to talk about the flag, buddy. I love it. I love it. But I've got a helmet very similar like that in my home office, so I love it with Maryland in my background. We anticipate, like I said a couple of weeks ago, we anticipate playing every freshman that's ready to play, and so the whole group has to be ready. Again, the same thing, redshirt freshman class, everybody that is healthy, everybody that has taken reps in camp will be expected to be prepared to play. And it's one of those unique challenges where I don't think there'll be a discussion, are we redshirting anybody? I don't think that's going to be in the discussion. We did ask, or at least I did ask the Big Ten. I think of any year this year, the home team has a huge advantage by being able to dress more than 74 players. And, with those 4 games, you'll probably see more guys that maybe you've not seen in other games play in home games just because we have them available.
Felix.
Good morning, Coach. Thank you for taking my question. Felix Balin, North by Northwestern. I'm wondering if you might be able to give us any additional updates on why the 4 guys chose to opt out this week.
Well, Felix, like I said, that happened over the summer, and frankly, those are personal decisions made by those young men and their families, which I said in my statement that I fully support. But those decisions will be kept private between their families and me. Thanks for the question, though.
Louis.
Hey, Fitz, how are you?
Great, Louis. Good morning.
Good morning. What does it say about Peter Skoronsky that he was able to earn a starting job at left tackle as a true freshman? Obviously, he was a big-time recruit. Right. And what are some things you saw from him that let him earn the job?
Well, obviously he comes in with great accolades out of high school from Park Ridge and Maine South, and we've had a great run of coaching Sarah's young men here in our program, as we all know. I mean, it's a powerhouse here in the Chicagoland area, and really thankful for the entire Maine South staff and their assistance in recruiting Peter. We thought he'd be a difference maker. And I really like all those young offensive linemen, to be honest with you, and that's including Zach, and that's including Payne. And then you look at Dom and Josh and Charlie. I mean, that group is young and a talented group, and Peter did the best job from a consistency standpoint. That would be the reason why he gets the opportunity to go out there and start. He was as consistent as anybody, and you put him next to a guy like Nick, who's a captain, who's been through a ton of battles. You feel really confident that he's going to be able to go out and execute. Will it be different? Will it be a whole nother level of talent that he's playing against from an unknown standpoint with the Terps and from a speed standpoint? No question. And so, he'll be better, after, Saturday night, but nonetheless, he's earned it by the consistency in which he's going about executing the scheme fundamentally, technically. And I will tell you, he's in a competitive battle. This isn't something that's going to be over after a week. I think those other guys are going to continue to push.
Teddy.
Hello again. If I could squeeze off a few COVID protocol related questions. Coaches, do you guys have to be masked or shielded at every moment? And I assume you're going with the shield. If so, what's the advantage of that over the mask?
It's my understanding that the Big Ten is mandating that we wear masks. So I'll be wearing my beautiful Northwestern issued Under Armour mask right here on game day that I've been wearing in practice. So that's my understanding. If I have an option, I would wear the InstaShield. But I have that option of practice, but it's my understanding on game day we'll be mandated to wear masks. So if that changes, I look forward to hearing that. Again, appreciate Professor Brown and everyone here at NU that created the InstaShield. It's been great for practice because you can see the coach's face. You can not only hear the coaching, but you can also read lips if maybe you can't hear us directly. So I think it allows you to have that type of communication. But at the same time, it is something that we've mandated from a standpoint of, yes, coaches on the sideline will be wearing masks. Anytime here in the Walter Athletic Center, we're under 6 feet, we're wearing masks. And pretty much I'm here distanced by everybody. I don't have it on, but pretty much the whole day I'll have this on throughout the whole course of the day. Sorry for the pings on the computer here. We'll get that bug fixed for next week.
Can I follow up with a couple questions, Ray?
I'm ready, Teddy. Let's
I
go,
was
buddy.
say, go ahead, Teddy. You already got
Cool.
going.
I got muted. Let me keep going. Has the Big Ten been a little slow in giving you guys information about certain COVID protocols?
No, I don't feel like it has been. It's been a process. I will tell you that. And Jeff Mianis is on the subcommittee, so I feel like I'm getting pretty real time information. I think maybe there's been deliberation and communication and the ability to express opinions that's maybe taken a little bit of time. But no, I've felt like we've been pretty well versed on what we need to do and what we need to expect.
Good. So when do teams exchange information on players who have tested positive and won't be participating in the game?
I believe most teams are going to just have inactivity reports that are going to come out on Saturdays is my or inactive, I guess is what it would be called. So that'll come out, I believe, on Saturdays, but I don't think there's a mandate from the league that you have to.
Really? Okay. And you don't know how much before kickoff?
I think we kick off at 6:30. I'll probably tell Paul to do it at 6:29:59. I guess. I don't know. I mean, you guys enjoy that on the social media sphere. How does that sound?
Absolutely. Final thing, do you feel like you guys have learned from other leagues? The SEC started off great and then they had to postpone some games. Are there any lessons you're taking from other leagues that,
Yeah, Teddy, that's great. These are all great questions, but that's a great one. Absolutely. I've been in constant contact with friends that are head coaches in other leagues. I know our athletic training staff has done the same, and so have our assistants. Big challenge, and we had a Zoom last night with our families, and we've had a bunch of them, but we just had the families on last night, talking about certain schools that we've learned lessons from on issues with people coming outside of Evanston or outside of our pseudo bubble and into our bubble. So we've just asked our families to be very conscious of that, to make sure if they're going to be within 6 feet to be wearing masks. It's an abnormal year, but they've got to do a great job of protecting their family member who's on our team. And then obviously that then goes out to protecting everybody in the program. As I look at what we'll be doing on the road, it'll be going from the locker room right to the bus. There'll be no interaction with our families. And then here at home games, we'll go from Ryan Field right to the buses back here to the Walter Athletic Center. There'll be no tailgating allowed at games, right? Different things. There'll be no walk with us. Our families won't be able to meet us before games, which I know stinks, but we get to play. So we've got to follow those types of guidelines and necessities. But really the choice is, it's like Thanksgiving. We've had a great Thanksgiving tradition that our guys can go home. We're asking our guys to stay. We always open our homes up. It'll be actually something that we're going to talk about as a unity council here once we're done having these great conversations and our captains are done, because it'll be on us pretty quickly, just making sure that, guys are going to have to stay here, and we'll make sure that everyone has somewhere to go to be able to eat. So, and enjoy and give Thanksgiving for each other. But a lot of moving parts there, but yeah, definitely lessons learned from others' challenges, and hopefully we'll be able to keep our squad healthy and safe.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Teddy.
Yep. All right. Last question, Drew.
Hi, Coach. Drew Shaw from the Daily Northwestern.
Hi, Drew.
Hi. Last week, Coach Bajakian was talking about the progress of the wide receiver room, RCB, Riley Lees, Kyrie McGowan, and Malik Washington. I just wanted to ask you, how are you feeling about that room heading into Maryland, especially with them learning a new offense as well as having a new quarterback under center?
Yeah, I would agree with Jake. I think that group has had an outstanding camp getting ready for the opener. Veteran group. In the older guys that have played a ton of ball for us, and they've worked, I think, really hard with our quarterbacks leading into camp. You could tell that the guys put the work in before we got started, and just really proud of that, the job that those receivers have done. Obviously, RCB and Riley and Kyrick have played a bunch of ball for us, and those guys are the leaders of the room. But that young group is talented. They're just young, and they're going to get their nose bloodied for the first time in a lot of different roles starting on Saturday night. So they got their hands full, but they'll be better because of it. And looking forward to watching them grow and learn about themselves to be able to trust themselves better and better each week. So just really excited about it. So just appreciate everybody's time. Thanks again for covering us. I hope everybody's families are healthy and safe, and hopefully you enjoy the Big Ten ride. We're excited to get the season back going. Thanks a lot. Go Cats.
Thanks, Coach. Okay, thanks for your patience, everybody. For the benefit of the camera and the recording, when you're asking your question, please direct it towards the student athlete so we can keep the right screen for the recording. So with that being said, we're going to go right into questions for Peyton, Ramsey, and Nick Urban. Again, please direct message Athletic Communications in the chat. Teddy, go ahead.
Thank you, Ray. Peyton, have you known for a while that you would be the starter, or was there an actual moment where Jake or Fitz said, "Hey, this is your job"?
Yeah, we battled it out for quite a while, and credit to all those other guys who pushed really, really hard and made me better every single day. I've known for a little bit, but not too long. Like I said, those guys pushed and have made the team better as well. And there's a lot of older guys in that room who have proven themselves, who have a lot of trust in their teammates, and their teammates have trust in them. So it went a while, and credit to those guys. Awesome quarterback room.
Not to jinx it, but could there be a better situation both for you and for Northwestern, considering the quarterback play last year, but more so because of what you've already accomplished in the Big Ten, the fact that you know a lot of these defenses? I mean, is this a situation as could be?
Yeah, I think it's a great fit. Like you said, I have experience playing in the Big Ten, playing against a lot of these different defenses, playing in Big Ten weather, just kind of the whole gamut. I've played a lot of football, really experienced coming into a great experienced team. I think that helps a lot too. And a new offensive coordinator that, the two of us have clicked. So, it's been an awesome fit. I'm looking forward to it. Super excited, as are the rest of the guys.
Thank you.
Ella Brockway.
Hi, Peyton. I'm Ella Brockway from the Daily Northwestern. Now that we're kind of nearing the end of preseason, how would you define this offense and what it looks like? And I guess in comparison to ones you played at before in Indiana in high school, how would you say it looks?
Yeah, I think we look good. We have a lot of talented guys, a lot of guys who are experienced and play a lot of football. So it really comes down to getting the ball in their hands and letting them make plays, and making my job a little bit easier. Got an experienced O-line too who's played a lot of football. So when you combine all of that, those things, the talent, the experience, then the new scheme that everybody's really excited about, I think we're all looking forward to it, and we're ready to go show everybody what we've been working towards this Saturday.
Eli.
Hey, Peyton, Eli Karp from Inside NU. You came in a relief role last year against Maryland and threw for nearly 200 yards. What can you take from that experience last year, heading into this matchup about that defense?
I think more than anything, it's about your preparation. And, I went into that week not starting, but knew there was a potential for my number to be called. And when I went in, I was prepared and ready to go. And I think that's just a testament to how hard I worked throughout the course of the week, and to try to show any young guy that preparation is truly important. And if you know the game plan, if you understand what the other team's going to do, you understand their tendencies, then you have that much better of a chance to be successful on Saturday. So it's not really anything that Maryland did or didn't do, but I think it was my preparation throughout the course of the week.
Andrew Golden.
Hey, Nick, I have a question for you. I'm Andrew Golden from the Daily Northwestern. My question for you is Peter Skronsky is starting in his first game as a true freshman. Being a senior on the offensive line, what advice have you given him? What have you seen from him in camp in terms of the way he's been performing?
Yeah, definitely. I think to start off, he's an incredible player. Come in as a freshman and play at the level he's playing at is huge. It's fun to see for this year and, of course, the future of this team. Actually, the other day he pulled me aside after one of the practices and was just like, hey, what advice you got for me? What's different from practice than a game? And I gave him some hints, kind of gave him that, games are a little bit faster than practice and, there might be a little more thrown at you, but coaching staff here does a great job getting you prepared. So you're one heck of a player, so you should be confident in everything and in your talent and what the coaches have prepared us for, and just go out and play. You find out it's football. You find out football is football, and it's a blast when you're out there.
Peter Warren.
Hey, Peyton, Peter Warren from the Daily Northwestern. You mentioned a few questions ago you've really clicked with Coach Bajakian. What are some ways you guys have really been able to bond over not just quarantine, but also now back in person?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's super relatable, and he cares about us, not only as football players, but as people. And I think that helps. I think that helps more than anything when you have a trust in each other and a good relationship. And then the football side of things, I think I've mentioned that there's some carryover from, one of my former coaches coached under him, so there's a little bit of carryover there. But more than anything, yeah, I think you hit on it. I think it's the relationship piece. The way that we connect with each other and the way that he communicates and teaches the game. I think that's probably the biggest thing, and that's why we've clicked so well.
Drew.
Hey, Nick. Drew Shaw from the Daily Northwestern. I had a question about the kind of current state of the offensive line. Obviously, the room has had some change with Jared Thomas graduating and Rashawn opting out of the season. So I wanted to ask, kind of with Peter starting as a freshman, kind of what has been kind of the vibe around the room, and kind of have you guys unified and kind of prepared for this upcoming season amid a lot of change?
Yeah, I think Coach Anderson is, he's one heck of a coach, and he will throw out the guys that he feels are best prepared. And, he always says that the expectations on the position. So the expectation of a Northwestern starting left tackle is to be the best left tackle in the Big Ten, which is what Rashawn was. So I think Skronsky has done great. I think playing next to him, him playing next to me has helped him. I know my stuff, and communication has been awesome. We come off the sideline and we have conversations, and Ethan Wiedeker at right guard, he's played football for us before, so he's done a great job coming in and playing. So we've missed some pieces, but we have experience still. Me, Sam, and Gunner all starters. Ethan played a good amount of games last year, and then Skronsky coming in and playing at the level he's playing at is incredible. And I think, we lost Rashawn and Jared, who were two great players for us, but we're ready to go, and we're still playing at a high level.
Louis. Louis, I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Nick, another question, Peter Skronsky. If I asked Fitz about him, and he said that pairing him with you on that left side was important. What kind of things do you think you'll have to do on Saturday night, out there to support him? Do you expect him to be a little wide-eyed out there? And what kind of tips, advice, or things can you tell him?
Yeah, I think the biggest is, maybe his nerves. I don't remember my first start. I remember my first start, and my eyes were wide. Jared Thomas had to pull me aside on the sideline and be like, "Hey, dude, it's just football. Go out there. You're prepared, and go out and play." And I feel like it could be the same way with him. But I think I've kind of been talking with him, and he feels prepared physically. And I think it might just be nerves of excitement because coming from high school right into Big Ten football is a crazy thing, and he's earned it. So I think it might just be nerves, but other than that, that might be it. Like I said earlier, coaches do a great job of preparing us throughout the week. So looks wise, there might be, it's always an opener, so there might be something exotic that comes up, but I'm confident in what I know and confident in what he knows, and we'll be able to just talk it out and go from there. But I'm excited to see him in action for the first time.
Okay, last question, Andrew.
Yeah, Nick, I have another follow-up question. Do you guys as a position group feel more comfortable in your second season under Coach Anderson? And do you feel like he's trying to challenge you as a group now that you've had him as a coach for a year?
Yeah, I think so for sure. We've kind of taken the next step in individual periods and technique periods to go into the more minute details of what we're doing. Last year, I felt like we played at a high level, and this year, we kind of took it a step up in our individual, in our off-season grind to get those details to that next step. And he's done a great job, and we've all bought in, and everyone else is bought in. I hope everyone on the team has realized the work that we've put in, and are excited to see us play on Saturday.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Peyton. Okay, we're going to go right into questions for J.R. Pace and Patty Fisher. Again, please direct message Athletic Communications in the chat, and we'll get going. And please make sure you direct your question for the benefit of the recording. Eli, go ahead.
Hey, Eli Carp from Inside NU. This one's for Patty. What's it like to play linebacker for Fitz and having him as a teacher?
Sorry about that. I was muted. I was just saying it's incredible. There's no other teacher better out there, no other coach better out there. He's a two-time All-American for a reason. I mean, the wisdom and the golden nuggets that he has to offer to linebackers especially is second to none. You're never going to get that anywhere else. So it's awesome. I really enjoy just kind of picking his brain and seeing what he has to offer.
Ella Brockway.
Hi guys, I'm Ella Brockway from the Daily Northwestern. This is for either JR or Patty. You guys are in an interesting situation where you played the guy who's going to be your starting quarterback next year or this season is a guy you played against last year. What do you remember from seeing Peyton Ramsey when you guys played Indiana, and I guess from the preseason coming from it?
We'll start with JR.
So the question was, what do we see from Peyton?
Yeah, just having played against him last year and now he's your starting quarterback, which is kind of an interesting one.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. We got a dog. Peyton's a playmaker. We've been excited to watch him during camp to make special plays and stuff. And, these are things that we've seen when we played him, and we're still seeing him, now all through camp. So, definitely excited for sure to watch what he's going to do on Saturday.
Anything to add, Patty?
From what I remember, he played, I believe, a half or so against us, and he played very well within that half. So, he's a very good player, and I'm hoping he can do the same for 4 quarters, with us against other teams.
Teddy, go ahead.
Patty, did you consider opting out? Obviously, a lot of guys with NFL hopes did consider it.
I mean, I was just waiting around in limbo. I was deciding what was I gonna do? Was the season gonna come back? Was it canceled for sure? I was just waiting around, just kind of hanging out, waiting in limbo. Still working out, and I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. So I went back home and saw my mom and my family, got my wisdom teeth taken out. But I was considering a lot of things. I was considering staying. I was considering, should I leave? What is going on? I wanted to play. If they were going to come back in the fall, then I'm playing. If they're going to come back in the winter, then that was a different decision that would be made with coach. But yeah, I was just waiting around. Just kind of having to grasp my emotions and grasp my feelings and everything with having the news of the season getting canceled. So really just waiting around in limbo, trying to figure out what to do.
Well, did you get advice from your parents?
I got a little bit of advice from my mom, but she just told me to follow my heart, and whatever decision I made, she was going to back me and be happy with it. Most of the advice and counsel came from Fitz and McGargle and Cody.
And for both you and JR, of all the strange COVID protocols, of all the differences compared to last season, tell me what is the strangest? What's been the oddest adjustment?
We'll start with JR.
The oddest adjustment, I would say probably is more like the kind of social factor, realizing, you have to make sacrifices and, you can't do the same things that you want to on the weekends. And so, a lot of it's just back and forth from house to facility, and that's the only places we're going. So, mentally that can kind of mess with you a little bit, not being able to see your friends, family, but it's an adjustment, it's a sacrifice you have to make, for the greater good of the team and for to ultimately get to our end goals.
Patty?
Certainly, the social aspect and not being able to, see people outside of the football community and really our own little cohorts. But to be honest, it's tough keeping up with like wearing the mask and stuff. It's just in our nature just to kind of walk around and not have the mask, right? Because we've been doing it for forever until now. So just kind of having to really harp on wearing the mask and being safe, sanitizing, continue washing hands, and just being safe. That's been kind of tough.
Thanks, guys.
Dave Ennett.
Hey guys, Dave Ennett, WGN Radio. This is for both of you. JR, I'll start with you. Have you thought about what it's going to be like walking out there onto Ryan Field on Saturday night? While there may be family without fans there, what kind of atmosphere do you expect?
Yeah, definitely thought about that. Kind of been at the forefront of our minds, since we figured out we were playing again. So obviously it'll be a huge adjustment, not playing in front of a ton of fans. But, people have already been doing it. NFL's already been doing it. Other conferences already been doing it. So, it's doable. And so it's something kind of like not really to ignore, but you kind of just have to put it to the back of your mind and realize that, you're still playing football at the end of the day. And that's the only thing that's different is there aren't people screaming, in the stands. So, definitely probably going to be tough initially, but, I think we'll be able to handle it.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I haven't thought about it too much. It's definitely crossed my mind. But we're definitely gonna have to come together as a unit, as a team, to bring our own juice. BYOJ is what everybody's talking about, and it's true. We're gonna have to find a way to get amped up and juiced up on the sideline. And that's gonna have to probably come from the guys that aren't in the game plan and the younger guys. Really. Being hoorah kind of guys and just getting us ready, so it's going to be interesting.
Louis.
Hey, JR, this is Louis Vaquer, Wildcat Report. You started a lot of games, played a lot of football with Travis next to you. Now he's gone. You got Brandon Joseph making his first career start on Saturday. How does that change your role and how you work with him?
I think my role is kind of to be a leader for him, be somebody he can look to, because, I've been in that same position before. My first season starting, I was with the older dude, the senior. But, I got full faith in B. Joe. He's a young, exciting playmaker. And I think, he's been in the arena in some later games before, so he's not completely new, but, starting is a different beast. But, he has me out there and some other experienced guys like Cam. So, he has some people he can go to, but, I'm excited for him.
Eli?
Hey, Eli again. This one's for both of you. Fitz is sitting on 99 wins right now. What would it mean for you guys to help him get his 100th win here at Northwestern?
Oh, it'd be great, man. To get him to 100, that's an awesome goal, and we're gonna surpass that goal throughout the season and with the years to come. But it'd be awesome to send him with the 100th win on the first game.
Yeah, I just echo that. It'd be awesome. Put Coach Fitz in that 100 mark. So definitely striving to do that week one. So it'll be huge.
All right, last question, Peter Warren.
Patty, you mentioned earlier that they're going through a lot of different options potentially for opting in, opting out. Obviously, Travis is a really good friend of yours going way back, decided to opt out. Did you talk with him at all going through this discussion?
Yeah, we had spoken, and his heart with everything was to kind of take that next step and really put football aside, and unfortunately that was the decision that he made, and at the end of the day, he's in a very good place mentally, physically, and emotionally. I mean, he's doing great. But yeah, we had talked about it, and it hurts a little bit not to have him out there, but I know that he's making the best decision for himself, and I'm fully supporting him and 100% behind his back, and I know he's in a really good place. We speak often, and at the end of the day, I know he made the right choice for himself.
Thanks, Patty. Thanks, JR. Again, everybody can hang on. Paul Kennedy's going to hop on real quick.